So the sages knew that Vidurji had met. So they wanted to know. And so they asked. The Sud Goswami replied by quoting Sukdev Goswami, who had already explained the subject matter in response to Maharaj Parikshit's similar inquiry. So similar query was there with Maharaj Parikshit. That is why I am saying this is same. So you see the inquiry, we were discussing that how we should inquire. So both these personalities, this set of hearers, one set of hearer is the sages headed by Saunak Rishi, and also the second set of hearer is Maharaj Parikshit. So whenever they have any transcendental topic or transcendental personality, immediately they start to inquire. So we saw in this chapter, how this chapter is flowing, that Vidurji, he gives up his kingdom, his house, his palace, his comfort, his position, and he travels to the forest, to the places of pilgrimage. And why did he leave? Why did he leave the place? What was the purpose of leaving? The purpose of leaving was not quarrel with the Kauravas. What was the purpose of leaving? Who remembers? What was the purpose for leaving home?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
To discuss on the transcendental subject matter.
Very good. Very good. Because he had the opportunity for receiving transcendental knowledge from the transcendental personality Maitri Rishi, who had met the Supreme Lord before his departure. So he knew that Maitri Muni had received this favor from the Supreme Lord. He and Uddhavji both have received the transcendental knowledge from the Supreme Lord personally. So he was more interested in receiving the transcendental knowledge rather than receiving the luxury and comforts of the palace and the position. So he gave up. So on the pretext of the disturbance, actually it was not the disturbance. It was the opportunity which the disturbance created. So he left. And so there is great inquiry. So these sages are inquiring. And then Sutta Goswami and here Sukdev Goswami gives the detail about what led, what were the circumstances or what was the situation which led for Vidura to leave home. Then he gives the full list of reasons. What is the most primary reason? That Vidurji left the palace of Hastinapur. What made him leave? What was the immediate cause?
प्रभु जी वो एडवाइस दिए धृतराष्ट्र जी को कि यू शुड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट इक्वली द प्रॉपर्टीज एंड टू
Yes. Yes, very good. So, yeah, boli.
Second thing is you should disconnect the association of Sakuni and
Tukuni and
ill-minded his son Duryodhan.
yes, very good. First thing he said was that you stop your offense against the Pandavas. That you have committed so much offense against the Pandavas. So what do? You at least return their legitimate share of the kingdom. And he said that Bhima is waiting to kill your sons. So before he kills, you return the kingdom to them. And then, as you said, he also said that Lord Krishna is on the side of Pandavas. कुबेर प्रभु अपना मोबाइल सीधा रखो, आपकी छत दिख रही है, आप लोग नहीं दिख रहे हो. हाँ, अभी थोड़ा ठीक करो, सीधा करो उसको, सीधे से रखो. अरे यार, जैसे ये लोग रख के बैठे हैं, सीधे रख के बैठो ना, इनकी फोटो साफ दिख रही है, तो तुम्हारी फोटो टेढ़ी दिख रही है, उल्टी. हाँ, अभी ठीक हो रहा है. उसको वैसे करो, उसको ऐसे करके रखो, ऐसे ऐसे सीधे ना करके ऐसे रखो, ऐसे ना करके ऐसे ऐसे रखो, वर्टिकल ना करके हॉरिजॉन्टल करो. हाँ चलो ठीक है, हाँ ठीक है, हाँ अब सही आ गया, ठीक आ गया, अभी ठीक है. So he said that you should always keep in mind that the Pandavas are being favored by Lord Krishna. And all the kings of the Yadus are also on the side of the Pandavas. And you get rid of your wicked, crooked son Duryodhana for the benefit of your family. Because he is dosha, he is offense personified, and he is envious to Lord Krishna and the Pandavas. So when this fellow, wicked fellow Duryodhana, when he heard this, he started to breathe fire because he is envious. And then what he said, we will recap. दयाशील, आप सबको ना फोन करके बोल दो क्लास 8 बजे शुरू हो गई है, 9 बजे बंद हो जाएगी. ठीक है, उनके हिसाब से मैं नहीं चलूंगा. और आप सबको 10 बजे सो जाना है और 4 बजे उठ जाना है. बस सोना इतने के बीच में ही है, 10 से 4 के बीच में है. अगर आप लेट सोते हो तो वो आपका फॉल्ट है. 4 बजे उठना है, नो लेटर देन 4. ऑफकोर्स मैं तो पहले उठता ही हूँ, 3:15 3:20 तक उठ जाता. सोने के टाइम से कोई मतलब नहीं है. Okay, I'll pick up from 14. While speaking thus, Vidura, whose personal character was esteemed by a respectable person, was insulted by Duryodhana, who was swollen with anger and whose lips were trembling. Duryodhana was in company of Karna, his younger brother Shakuni, and his maternal uncle Shakuni. Okay. It is very, very important to note that Duryodhana was keeping company of whom? Shakuni, Karna, and Dushasana. Prabhupada says in the purport, it is said that giving good counsel to foolish people causes the fool to become angry. I experience it every day. I almost experience it every day. If I tell people to stop their effort of wasting their life, they become so envious. I ask them that what you have done in your last 5 years or 10 years, tell me. बताओ, तुमने पिछले 5-10 साल में अपने प्रयास से क्या हासिल किया है और क्यों अपना जीवन इसी प्रकार से वेस्ट कर रहे हो? उसमें से मुझे आज तक एक भी ऐसा व्यक्ति नहीं मिला जो अंदर से स्वीकार करे. अंदर से सब एनवियस है. क्यों? क्योंकि वो अपना हित चाहते ही नहीं. उनको हित बताओ तो वो क्या होते हैं? द्वेषी हो जाते हैं. तो जिस प्रकार से वो दुर्योधन, विदुर जी ने उसको बताया धृतराष्ट्र को कि ये व्यक्ति क्या है, ये ईर्ष्यालु व्यक्ति है, ये भगवान से द्वेष करता है. Just as feeding milk to snake only increases its venomous poisons. Saint Vidura was so honorable that his character was looked up by all as respectable person. But Duryodhan was so foolish that he dared to insult Vidura. This was due to his bad association with Shakuni. This is very important. The first thing that we have to give up is association of those people who are non-devotees. Whether they are in the family or in our social circle or our friend, they are actually not friends. They are the greatest enemies. So here Prabhupada is highlighting that how he could dare to insult Vidura because of his bad association with Shakuni, as well as his friend Karna, who was always encouraged Duryodhana and his nefarious acts. वैष्णव अगर जीवन अपनाना है और भक्ति में प्रगति करनी है तो सबसे पहले ऐसे ईर्ष्यालु लोगों का संग छोड़ना पड़ेगा, चाहे वो किसी भी रूप में, चाहे वो माता पिता के रूप में है, भाई बंधु के रूप में है, पति पत्नी के रूप, क्योंकि उनकी जो एसोसिएशन है, उनकी जो संगति है, वो हमारी बुद्धि को कवर कर दे, वो भक्ति नहीं करने देगी। तो यहाँ इसलिए प्रभुपाद जी के तात्पर्य पढ़ना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ध्यान से। यहाँ बता रहे हैं कि दुर्योधन का इतना ईर्ष्यालु होने का कारण क्या है, उसका असत्संग। महाप्रभु ने ये नहीं कहा कि वैष्णव कौन है, जो रोज 64 माला करता है, रोज भागवतम पढ़ता है, ये तो लक्षण है ही वैष्णव के। लेकिन पहला सिद्धांतिक लक्षण किसका है वैष्णव का? असत्संग त्याग, यही वैष्णव आचार। जो असत्संग का त्याग नहीं करता वो वैष्णव का आचार संहिता में आएगा ही। फिफ्टींथ वर्स। So how he insulted? What was the insult that was met out by Vidura? Is in the 15th verse. कायेनम अत्र उपजुवा जीह्वान् दास्यासुतं यद्बलिनेव पुष्टः तस्मिन् प्रतिपा प्राकृत्यस्ते निर्वस्यतम अचुपूरक जवाशनः। So he said, का एनम अत्र उपजुवा। इसको इधर बुलाया किसने? Who called him here to give advice? Why is he speaking? Who asked him to come here? And how he insulted? Dāśīl. He is the son of a dasi, a mistress. This son of kept mistress, and then he said, he is so crooked. Who's speaking? Duryodhana is speaking about Mahatma Vidur, that he is so crooked that he spies in the interest of the enemy. Who are the enemy of Duryodhana and company? Pandavas. He spies in the interest of the enemy against those on whose support he has grown up. Toss him out of the palace immediately and leave him with his only breath. इसकी सांसें छोड़ के इससे सब कुछ छीन लो और इसके उठा के बाहर फेंक दो। When getting married, the Kshatriya Kimto, this is Dasi Putra. Prabhupada is explaining how Vidurji is Dasi Putra. Last time I remember, Riyanshi explained the entire history of how Vidurji became Dasi Putra. So we will not repeat that. Or you want to again share in short how he became Dasi Putra? Vidurji? Riyanshi, you explained very nicely last time when we discussed. In short, explain. हाँ बोलो बोलो रियाची, मम्मी से क्या पूछ रही हो? बोलो।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, एक दिन एक किंग का कुछ सामान चोरी हो गया था, तो जब सोल्जर्स निकले थे उन चोरों को पकड़ने के लिए, तो उन चोरों ने मंडव्य ऋषि के आश्रम में सारे सामान जो चुराए गए थे वो छुपा लिए थे। तो फिर सोल्जर्स ने सोचा कि मंडव्य ऋषि ही वो चोरों का जो पूरा ग्रुप था उसके लीडर है। तो फिर उन्होंने मंडव्य ऋषि के आश्रम में गए और फिर सारे किंग को बता दिया उन्होंने कि क्या क्या है। फिर मंडव्य ऋषि को पनिशमेंट के तौर पे उन्हें वुडन लांस या वुडन स्पीयर से मारा गया था, पर वो भगवान के ब्लेसिंग से वो बच गए थे। फिर वो यमराज के पास जाते हैं और कहते हैं और उनसे पूछते हैं कि इसका रीजन क्या था। तो यमराज जी बताते हैं कि जब वो बच्चे थे तो उन्होंने ब्लेड ऑफ कुशाग्रास से एक कीड़ा को एक इंसेक्ट को हार्म किया था, इसलिए वो इसका रिएक्शन है। तो मंडव्य ऋषि ने कहा कि ये जो पनिशमेंट था वो इनअप्रोप्रिएट था, इसलिए उन्होंने यमराज जी को कर्स किया कि वो एक शूद्र के रूप में अगले जन्म लेंगे।
Yes. Actually, it is Yamaraj who is appearing here as Vidurji because of the curse of the sage Manduk. The Manduk Rishi had cursed. Okay. So we'll take this 16th verse. Okay. This is today's word. Saitam matulyabana karnabane Haturpura marmasuta ditopi Swayam dhanurdvari nidhayamayam Gatavyata yad uru manayana. Sa, that is he, was Vidhur, being pierced by the arrows through his ears and afflicted to the core of his heart. So what pierced his heart were the arrows of sharp and strong words. Being pierced by the arrows through his ears, afflicted to the core of his heart, Vidura placed his bow on the door and quit his brother's palace. He was not sorry, for he considered the act of external energy to be the supreme. So although Duryodhana very heavily criticized, chastised, and tormented Vidurji, but Vidurji was not disturbed in his mind or in his heart. Why? Because he considered the acts of external energy to be the supreme. He could see how the illusionary energy is working. So Prabhupada says, one second. Okay, Manoram, you are hearing, na? Your internet is not stable?
Yes, Prabhuji, I got disconnected, so again I joined.
Okay. You have not shared me. Okay, you speak to me after the class. Okay, you can see the screen. Screen दिखाई दे रहा है?
Yes, Prabhuji.
A pure devotee of the Lord is never perturbed by an awkward position created by the external energy of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita 3.27, it is stated, Prakriti kriyamanani gune karmani sarvasha ahankara vimulatma kartaham iti manyate. A conditioned soul is absorbed in material existence under different modes of external energy. Absorbed in falling by himself. Ahankara vimudha atma. Karta hamiti is fully under the control of the Supreme Lord. So everyone is forced to act helplessly according to the mode which is influenced by. Therefore, the conditioned soul is fully under the control of the laws of the Lord. But due to illusion only, he thinks himself independent of his activities. Duryodhana was acting under such influence of the external nature, by which he would be vanquished at the ultimate end. He could not accept the sound advice of Vidura. So this is a big challenge today in Kali. As the Kali progresses, people like Vidura will be less and people like Duryodhana will be more. And if you give them good counsel, then what they will do? They will turn fiercely against you. Why? Because they are thinking that they are the enjoyers. They want to be the enjoyers of this material world, of this material creation. And why they are thinking so? Because of ahankar, because of false ego. So we have to learn, actually a preacher is one who knows not to hurt the person in his false ego, but is able to convince and win him over. That is great art. And we will see in the episodes of Narad Muni. Narad Muni is such an expert preacher. He is able to convince the person, not only convince him, convert him. Even if, however, he is Duryodhana-like or Karna-like, whoever he is. Even a demoniac person, Narad Muni can convert to make a first-class devotee. Duryodhana was acting under such influence of external nature, by which he would be vanquished at the ultimate end. He could not accept the sound advice of Vidura, but on the contrary, he insulted the great soul, who was the well-wisher of the whole family. Vidura that this was because he was circumstances or the situation. Vidura was not disturbed. Vidura could understand this because he was the pure devotee of the Lord. In spite of being very strongly insulted by Duryodhana's word, Vidura could see that Duryodhana, under the influence of Maya, the external energy, was making progress on the path towards his own ruination. He was going towards hell. He therefore considered the acts of the external energy to be the supreme. Yet he also saw how the internal energy of the Lord helped him in that particular situation. So he could see both. He could see the effect of the external energy, the illusory energy on Duryodhana. But on his own situation, he was trying to see the influence of the internal energy. How? Very important aspect. A devotee is always in a renounced temperament. This is actually, if somebody is a devotee, this is his quality. Foremost quality of a devotee is that he is in renounced temperament. He is always detached. All the suffering in this world, all the miseries in this world is only due to two aspects. One is ignorance and the other is attachment. The root cause of all suffering is attachment. And why we have attachment is due to ignorance. So, Vidurji could see very clearly that Duryodhana and his company and his family is going to suffer miseries. But he will be free from miseries because now he has got opportunity to go and seek association of these saintly persons. So he was in his heart thanking the Lord for creating such a situation so that he could be detached. He could leave that palace, that comfort, that position that he had. So many times I have told you all that if you really don't want to suffer, then you must have your exit plan. You start planning and start aspiring. Before we are kicked out by the illusionary energy, we kick the illusionary energy. But how many will be able to do it? That is a very big question. You see, in this case of Vidurji, Prabhupada says, see the inner disposition of Vidurji, what Srila Prabhupada is bringing out in the purport. A devotee is always in renounced temperament because the worldly attractions can never satisfy him. Vidur was never attracted by the royal palace of his brother. He was always ready to leave the palace and devote himself completely to the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Now he got opportunity by the grace of Duryodhana. He is thanking Duryodhana. By the grace of Duryodhana. And instead of being sorry at the strong words of insult, देख लूंगा तुझे, क्या कहा था? क्या कहा था तूने मुझे? याद है? भूलते नहीं है. अगर कोई व्यक्ति हमारा कहीं भी तिरस्कार करता है, अपमान करता है, तो हम क्या करते हैं? उसे हमेशा के लिए अपनी स्मृति में बचा के रखते हैं. किस लिए? कि उससे रिवेंज लेने के लिए. लेकिन महात्मा विदुर को देखे, वो बोल रहे हैं, वो धन्यवाद दे रहे हैं दुर्योधन का, कि अगर दुर्योधन इस प्रकार से नहीं करता तो उनका वहां से गमन नहीं होता, वो स्थान को छोड़ते नहीं. He thanked him from within. And instead of being sorry at the strong words of insult, he thanked him from within because it gave him the chance to live alone in the holy place and fully engage in the devotional service of the Lord. The word gata vyatha, without being sorry, is significant here because Vidur was relieved from the tribulations which trouble every man entangled in the material activities. आदि देविक, आदि भौतिक, आध्यात्मिक. और ये 3 सफरिंग्स हैं. और कौन सी सफरिंग्स हैं? In this material world, every world has to suffer. There are 7 sufferings for everyone, whoever has taken this material body. What are the other sufferings? Yes, Ramya?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि.
भगवान भगवद गीता में कहते हैं जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुखा दोषा. बट उसको देखने की विजन होनी चाहिए. अनुदर्शनम, दर्शन करें उसका. किसका? दुख का और दोष का. वो किसके रूप में है? जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुख दोषानुदर्शनम. अनुदर्शनम, सीधे दर्शन नहीं होगा. अनुदर्शनम. What is anudarshanam? Sonika, what is anudarshanam? आपने पढ़ा है ना भगवत गीता 8 to 12, 20 items of knowledge. Krishna is saying that these 4 things are items of knowledge. What is anudarshanam? It should be very simple. Manoram Prabhu, what is anudarshanam? हमें तो दर्शन होता नहीं ना. होता है क्या? जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुख और दोष के रूप में दर्शन होता है? नहीं होता. सामान्य लगता है. ठीक है, सबको होता है, हमें भी हो जाएगा. बोलो बोलो राम, जल्दी बोलो.
Prabhuji, having realized.
How to realize? How the realization will come? How it is anudarshanam? See, Riyanshi will answer. Riyanshi, what is anudarshanam?
प्रभु जी, observing.
A little louder.
Observing.
क्या बोली प्रियंका? What she said?
ऑब्जर्विंग बोल रही है मुझे.
Observing. Observance से कहाँ होता है? हमें दोष दिख और दुख दिख रहा है क्या? जन्म होता है तो क्या हमें दोष और दुख दिख रहा है? नहीं दिख रहा है. मृत्यु होती है तो भी नहीं दिख रहा है. जरा व्याधि में भी नहीं दिख रहा है। तो दुख और दोष का अनुदर्शन क्या? व्हाट डज अनुदर्शन मीन? What he said is correct, is realization, but how that realization can come? When we are following the saintly person and scriptures. Where it is written, it is a state of suffering. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi. It is written anywhere that it is dukkha dosha. It is only there in the darshan. Darshan also means one is vision, and darshan also means philosophy. Philosophy. So those who have realized the philosophy, the saintly person. So he got the opportunity to get association of the saintly person of Maitreya Muni. So he is very satisfied. He is more than satisfied. Vidura was relieved, which trouble every man entangled in the material activity. He therefore thought that there was no need to defend his brother with his bow, because his brother was meant for ruination. Thus he left the palace before Duryodhana could act. Maya, the supreme energy of the Lord, acted both internally and externally. Internally, it acted on Vidurji to give him detachment, and externally, it acted on Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. How? That they were seeing Vidurji as their enemy. Sa nirgata kaurava punya labdho gajavyaha tirtha pada padani anuvakramat punya chikirshavyovyam adhishthito yani saharsamurti. By his piety, Vidur achieved the advantages of the pious Kauravas. He is said here as Kaurava Punya Labdho, Sa Nirgataha. Nirgata means to leave. So after leaving, what also left? All the punya, all the piety of the Kauravas were also gone. They became defunct of any good piety. Vidur achieved the advantage of the pious Kauravas. After leaving Hastinapur, he took shelter of many places of pilgrimage. Tirth Pada. Gaja Avyahat. हस्तिनापुर है ना? हस्ति का मतलब क्या होता है? गजा. And where Hastinapur means where the places where there are elephants, big number of elephants. So it is Gaja Avyahat from Hastinapur. And where he went? Nirgata Gaja Vyata and Tirth Pada Padani. Tirth Pada is places of the Supreme Lord. Places of pilgrimage, where the Supreme Lord has his lotus feet. That place is called Tirth Pada. So after leaving Hastinapur, he took shelter of many places of pilgrimage, which are the Lord's lotus feet. With a desire to gain higher order of pious life. Punyo Chikirshaya Urvayam. Anukramat, he took shelter for Punya. Punya is piety. Chikirshaya is desiring. With a desire to gain higher order of pious life, he traveled to holy places where thousands of transcendental forms of the Lords are situated. So this we should do from time to time. That we should go to the places of pilgrimage where the Lord's lotus feet are there. So today we have finalized. Some of you I will just declare that on 12th of April, we will be going to Vrindavan for 2 days, 3 days. That is the second disappearance of our beloved Guru Maharaj. Manoram, you note the date. Sonika, you also. Okay. So at least you both come. I cannot say about Pradeep and Manini how much it is possible for them. But on 12th, 13th, and 14th of April, we will be in Vrindavan. Yeah, important. After it will be 3 months. We went in February, then March, April, 2 to 3 months. Short, not far. So the place of pilgrimage, we should keep, going and receiving the association of saintly persons. This time we will get the association of another very saintly person, Rukmani Krishna Prabhu. His sannyas is also there. On 14th of April, it is the sannyas day. So we don't want to miss that opportunity. And that day is also the second disappearance day ceremony of Guru Maharaj. Vidur was undoubtedly a highly elevated and pious soul. Otherwise, he would have not taken his birth in the Kaurava family. To have high parentage, to possess wealth, to be highly learned, and to have great personal beauty, all are due to past pious acts. What is the verse? All of you are knowing this verse. Bolo. To have high parentage, to possess wealth, to be highly learned, and to have great personal beauty is all due to past pious acts. What is the verse? Manini Mataji? बड़ा फेमस वर्स है ये, बोलिए।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। नहीं पता प्रभु जी।
ये तो गलत बात है, ये तो मैं स्वीकार नहीं करूंगा। ये वर्स कैसे नहीं पता? ये तो बहुत बेसिक वर्स है। रेगुलर नहीं सुनोगे तो नहीं आएगा। कुछ काम नहीं करना है 8 बजे से 9 बजे तक, श्रवण करना ही करना है। सुबेरे 5 से 7 कुछ और नहीं करना है, आपको जप करना ही करना है। 5 से 7 लॉक कर दीजिए जप करने के लिए, और 8 से 9 श्रवण करना ही करना है। बाकी जीवन में कुछ होता है कर लीजिए, नहीं होता है छोड़ दीजिए। कुछ नहीं फर्क पड़ेगा जीवन में, कुछ नहीं फर्क पड़ेगा, लेकिन असत्संग छूट जाएगा। लेकिन हमारी समस्या है कि हम उसको छोड़ना नहीं चाहते, उसको पकड़ के बैठे। बोलो भाई मनोराम, व्हिच वर्स इज दिस? तुम तो सर्च मार के पकड़ लिए होगे इतनी देर में, तो मनोराम तो सर्च मार के पकड़ लिया होगा। बोलो। अगर ये वर्ष नहीं आता तो रियली असत्संग बहुत हैवी है। बोलो, अनम्यूट एंड स्पीक। My voice is reaching you or not? It is reaching. Unmute and speak. नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, बड़ा मुश्किल है। प्रदीप, अरे this श्लोक is known to all of you. लेकिन इसका अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं आया है, इसलिए नहीं पकड़ पा रहे। प्रदीप, यू आर हियरिंग मी? यू आर ऑल्सो ब्लैंक। सोनिका तो बता देगी, सोनिका तो 1 मिनट में बता देगी। बोलो सोनिका।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, मुझे श्लोक का भी रिमाइंड नहीं हो रहा है, जिसमें भगवान ने मेंशन किया था कि जो पायस जिनके कर्मज होते हैं वो ब्राह्मणों के घर में, वैष्णवों के घर में,
ना ना ना
या
ना 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 ना, वो नहीं है, भगवत गीता का वर्ष नहीं है, श्रीमद् भागवतम का है। अरे बहुत फेमस वर्स है, इट इज सो फेमस, यू नो द वर्स, बट द प्रॉब्लम इज असत्संग इज सो हैवी दैट इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू हैव सत्संग। अरे बिल्कुल साफ है, दिखा हुआ है उस पे, वर्स इज रिटन। अभी बचा क्या, ये दोनों तो बता ही देंगी। रविंदर आप बताओ।
प्रभु जी पूरा याद नहीं, जन्मश्चर्य श्रुताश्री
हाँ, जन्म ऐश्वर्य शताश्रुभि, हाई पेरेंटेज इज व्हाट, जन्म। देखो दोबारा पढ़ो। तुमको श्लोक, ये श्लोक कैसे नहीं पता है सोनिका? तुमको जन्म ऐश्वर्य शताश्रुभि नहीं पता है तो क्या देख रही हो, क्या सुन रही हो? सुनो। To have high parentage is Janma. To possess wealth is Aishwarya. To be highly learned is Shruta. And to have great personal beauty is Shribhir. खाली तोते की तरह वर्ष नहीं याद करना है ना, तोते की तरह वर्ष नहीं याद करना है, उससे कोई फायदा नहीं होगा, उसकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग आनी चाहिए। देखो कितना साफ है, ये कैसे नहीं पकड़ में आ रहा है? क्यों भाई मनोराम, तुमने जन्म ऐश्वर्य श्रुता शिवी नहीं सुना क्या? कुंती नहाने की प्रेयर थी तो लगता है आपने नहीं याद की, बाकी सब लोगों ने याद की। And Pradeep, you are also so foolish. You don't know this verse? I'm asking you, Pradeep.
No,
You don't know. You did not memorize the teachings of Kunti Devi.
I know.
Then how can you miss it? This is the problem. It is not easy to hear. It is not easy to hear. If we have to hear, we have to have sufficient detachment. With attachment, nothing will enter our heart. The words, insulting words of Duryodhana did not enter the heart of Vidur Maharaj. But such pious positions are not sufficient for obtaining the grace of the Lord. And being engaged in his transcendental loving service, Vidura considered himself less pious. And therefore he decided to travel to all the great places of pilgrimage in the world in order to achieve greater piety and advance nearer to the Lord. At that time, Lord Krishna was personally present in the world, and Vidura could have at once approached him directly. Yeah, it is simple. But he did not do so because he was not sufficiently freed from sin. अरे एक तरफ तो लिख रहे हैं he is a pure devotee, and दूसरी तरफ लिख रहे हैं he was not sufficiently freed from sin. One cannot be 100% devoted to the Lord unless and until he is completely free from all effects of the sin. Vidura was conscious that by the association of the diplomatic Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, he had lost his piety, and therefore not fit to associate at once with the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed in the following verse, Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandamo nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrata. Persons who are sinful asuras like Kamsa and Jarasandha cannot think of Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth. Only those who are pure devotees, and who are pure devotees, please hear very attentively, those who follow the regulative principles of religious life as prescribed in the scriptures. This is the meaning of pure devotee. Pure devotee is not who comes only from the spiritual world. Those who follow the regulative principles of religious life as prescribed in the scriptures are able to engage themselves in karma yoga, then jnana yoga, and thereafter by pure meditation, they can understand pure consciousness. When God consciousness is developed, one can take advantage of the association of pure devotees. Very, very important. Not everyone. When God consciousness is developed, one can take advantage of the association of the pure devotees. Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Niveshanat. One is able to associate with the Lord even during his existence of this life. Find this verse, Manoram Prabhu. Anyone remember this word? Shushusho Shadhanasya Vasudev Katharuchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punyo Tirtha Nisevana. It is, as far as I remember, first canto, second chapter. Shushusho Shradhanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi. When that Vasudeva Katharuchi will come, when there is Syan Mahat Sevaya Punya. Find this verse. किसी को याद नहीं है? ये हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया था. Who remembers Syan Mahat Sevaya? Anyone remembers?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you mentioned it, explained it that serving the lotus feet of pure devotees.
Yes. Unless and until we get favor of the pure devotees who have this Vasudev Katharuchi. Those who have can only give, na? So how we will receive? When they give. And when will they give or why they will give? When we please them. And how they will be pleased? When we serve them. भाई इतना टाइम लगा रहे हो मनोराम? Yes. So Shushusho. Shushusho, so the word meaning. One who is engaged in hearing. But how hearing is to be there? Shraddha-dhanasya, with care and attention. What subject matter is Vasudeva Katha. The topics of the Supreme Lord Krishna. And what one should have? Ruchi. How Shushusho is to be happened? With Ruchi. So how this Ruchi will come? And how there will be Shraddha? Is Syan Mahat Sevaya. Is made possible by service rendered to pure devotees. O twice born sages. Who is speaking? Sūta Goswami is speaking. To whom? To Shaunakadi Rishis and the Brahmana. So, O twice born sages, by serving those devotees who are completely freed from all vice, they are also called Tirtha, Tirthapada, Punya Tirtha. Tirtha means the place of pilgrimage. So the pure devotees are also Tirtha. Because they are freed from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the messages of Vasudeva. The conditioned life, see, very beautiful purport. Show the purport. The conditioned life of a living being is caused by his revolting against the Lord. There are men called Devas or godly living beings, and there are men called Asuras or demons, who are against the authority of the Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, okay, a vivid description of Asuras is given. Okay. The point is, these Asuras are gradually rectified to God consciousness by the mercy of the Lord's liberated servitors. Very important. In different countries, according to the Supreme Will, such devotees of God are very confidential associates of the Lord. And when they come to save human society from the dangers of godlessness, they are known as powerful incarnations of the Lord. Which incarnation? Which incarnation of the Lord? Just close the shade, Manona, so that we can have everyone's darshan. Which incarnation of the Lord? Since 2-3 days, my consciousness is connected to the incarnations, because yesterday I spoke about avatars. And it was so refreshing to go and study. After so many days, after so many months, I got the opportunity to go and do formal study and research. पढ़ा ना आपने? हाँ? These incarnations of the Lord. Who are these incarnations of the Lord? अरे बोलो भाई, पहली बार थोड़ी सुन रहे हो. खाली एक ही पर्सन आंसर देगा, ऐसा क्यों? बोलो मानी नहीं।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
ये सब आना चाहिए, थोड़ा प्रयास करना पड़ेगा। और सुन,
परशुराम प्रभु जी।
नहीं नहीं, अरे बहुत nonsense। परशुराम जी तो आए, फरसा उठाए, सबको सीधे मार दिए। उनके साथ किसी का सुनने का, श्रवण करने का कुछ सीखा क्या आपने? परशुराम क्या बता रहे हैं? ये क्या बता रहे हैं? डिवोटीज ऑफ द लॉर्ड, वो तो स्वयं भगवान है। परशुराम ने कब कहा कि मैं भगवान का भक्त हूँ? वो तो माने नहीं है, भगवान राम को भी बोल रहे हैं कि मैं परशुराम हूँ। कहाँ स्वीकार किए कि वो सेवक है? हाँ बोलिए सोनिका।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, अद्वैताचार्य।
Not only all the acharyas, Saktya Veshamta, all the acharyas, all the saintly persons, whoever is representing the Lord in parampara. So what they do, just hear very attentively. Okay, it is Manoram, you will share. Manoram, you share. Manoram Prabhu,
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
sharing करो।
इज इट विजिबल प्रभु जी? मैंने शेयर किया हुआ है।
नहीं 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 आ रहा, मैं तो नहीं देख पा रहा। किसी को दिख
इट
रहा
इज
है?
प्रभु जी। यस।
This is visible? मेरे में तो मेरा ही दिख रहा है, मैंने अपना स्टॉप शेयर कर दिया। चलो आप पढ़ो, जो मैंने लास्ट पढ़ा था वो आप पढ़ो, मेरे को नहीं दिख रहा।
Prabhuji, these asuras are gradually rectified to God consciousness by the mercy of the Lord's liberated servitors in different countries according to the supreme will.
हाँ
Such
भाई, तो see, we are also all asuras. We are not devas. We still have a desire to enjoy this material world. So those who have the desire to enjoy this material world, they are all asuras. So how they will be liberated? By the mercy of the servitors. Then these devotees of the Lord are very confidential associates of the Lord. And when they come to save human society from the dangers of godlessness, they are known as the powerful incarnation of the Lord, the sons of the Lord, as servants of the Lord, or as an associates of the Lord. But none of them falsely claim to be God themselves. नीचे आओ तो Prabhupada लिखते हैं, one should learn to cooperate. हाँ, the servants of the God. नीचे लाओ, very beautiful purport. The servants of the God come to propagate God consciousness. An intelligent person should cooperate with them, not oppose them or be envious with them in every respect. Prabhupada is saying an intelligent person should cooperate with them in every respect. By rendering the servant of God, one can please God more than by directly serving the Lord. The Lord is more pleased when he sees that his servants are properly respected, because such servants risk everything for the service of the Lord and are so very dear to the Lord. The Lord declares in the Bhagavad Gita 18.69 that there is no one more dearer to him than one who risks everything to preach his glory. By serving the servants of the Lord, one gradually gets the quality of such servants. This is Ruchi. And thus one becomes qualified to hear glories of Lord, not otherwise. This is the problem. This is where people are lacking, because they are not qualified. They have not received the mercy, because they don't want to serve. The eagerness to hear about God is the first qualification of a devotee eligible for entering the kingdom of God. बंद कर दो, सब कुछ दे दिया प्रभुपाद जी ने इस purport. One of the most important purport. इसको बार बार पढ़ा करो. जिस दिन हियरिंग की क्लास छूट जाए, इसको पढ़ा करो. हियरिंग छूटेगा नहीं. अगर ये बात समझ में आ जाएगी तो छूटेगा नहीं। आप में से कितने हैं जो कि 2-4 दिन बीत जाता है, किसी दिन खाना खाना भूल जाते हैं या सोना भूल जाते हैं? रात उठाओ, मिलो ऐसे महानुभाव से। क्यों भाई मानिनी जी? 2-4 दिन हियरिंग छूट जाता है, 2-4 दिन प्रसाद पाना छूट जाती है, बताओ कौन से दिन है? इससे ज्यादा और स्पष्ट क्या मिलेगा आपको? इससे ज्यादा स्पष्ट तात्पर्य और क्या मिलेगा जो भी हमने पढ़ा? है क्या कुछ? लेकिन उसके लिए प्रभुपाद जी एक वर्ड लिखते हैं। किसको ये बात समझ में आएगी? सबको नहीं समझ में आएगी। किसको समझ में आएगी? बोलिए। अभी आपने सुना ना, पढ़ा?
Who has the eager to serve the
नो नो,
servitor of
वो सब तो बाद में आएगा, वो सब तो बहुत बाद में आएगा, वो तो बहुत लेटर स्टेज है। ये प्रोसेस किसके लिए चालू होगा? सबके लिए नहीं चालू होगा। कौन इस प्रोसेस में आएगा? Who will accept this process? बोलो। What is the qualifying factor? First qualifying factor. किसने ध्यान से सुना या पढ़ा? बोलो मनोराम। अभी आप ही ने शेयर किया ना, शेयर तो किया, लेकिन उसमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट वर्ड क्या है? एक एक परपोर्ट को 100 बार पढ़ना पड़ेगा, तब कुछ समझ में आएगा, आएगा नहीं। बोलो बोलो, क्या वर्ड है? Who caught it? What is the most
Hare
important?
Krishna.
Yes, Purvi.
So the eagerness to hear about the.
It will not come. Where is the eagerness? It will not come like this. Unless and until you receive the grace, it will not come. This is what the verse is saying. Syan mahat sevaya vipra. Unless and it is Syan mahat sevaya vipra, there cannot be katha ruchi. Prabhupada writes the word. Ramya, you caught it? What was the word? Prabhupada is writing in the purport. तुम purport पढ़ रही हो क्या? चीटिंग कर रही हो? Don't do this. श्रवण के बेस पे पूछ रहा हो, चीटिंग कर रहे हो? किसी ने नहीं पकड़ा? दयाशील,
I'm not able to get the question properly. Please can you
क्यों?
repeat?
तुम क्या कर रहे हो? मैं देख रहा हूँ तुम 10 मिनट से तो आए हुए हो। Hearing is done from the heart, it is not done from the ears. Yes, Ravinder Prabhu? बोलो।
By serving the pure devotees of Lord, Lord
It
can
is
do
still
more.
later, yaar. It will not happen. It will not happen. First, what preliminary,
Mahaseva.
has savior will come second. First, what one has to have? बोलो प्रियंका, क्या वर्ड लिखा है प्रभुपाद जी ने?
Sustulpo service.
अभी परपट दोबारा दिखाऊंगा। वही तो लैकिंग है, वही वर्ड लैकिंग है ना, समस्या तो यही है। चलो खोलो परपट, पढ़ो, अब खुद ही बताना। खोलो परपट, ओपन मनोरम। लास्ट पैरा, सब कुछ लास्ट पैरा में है, बहुत कंडेंस्ड है। पढ़ो और बताओ। आप लोग के लिए होमवर्क है, होमवर्क नहीं है, लाइव वर्क है। होमवर्क क्या है? होमवर्क तो भूल भाल जाते हैं। दिस इज लाइव वर्क। बताओ इसमें क्या लिखा है?
The servants of God come to propagate God consciousness.
and intelligent people should cooperate with them in every respect. By serving the servant of God, one can please God more than by directly serving the Lord. The Lord is more pleased when he sees that his servants are properly respected, because such servants risk everything for the service of the Lord, and so are very dear to the Lord. The Lord declares in the Bhagavad Gita 18.69 that no one is dearer to him than one who risks everything to preach his glories. By serving the servants of the Lord, one gradually gets the quality of such servants, and thus one becomes qualified to hear the glories of God. The eagerness to hear about God is the first qualification of a devotee eligible for entering the kingdom of God.
Okay, very good. ठीक है? So I am asking, what is the most important aspect for beginning this process? What is that one thing which is required? बंद कर दो शेयर मनोराम प्रभु, अब नहीं दिखाऊंगा, मैं बहुत बार दिखा दिए। हाथ उठाओ, क्या समझ में आया? इससे ज्यादा क्रिस्टल क्लियर परपोर्ट हो नहीं सकता। सब कुछ दिया इसमें। बाय एंटरिंग द किंगडम ऑफ गॉड, किसको भगवत धाम में प्रवेश मिलेगा? बोलो मनोराम, यू वेरी इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन, साइंटिस्ट हो भाई, वर्ल्ड मेडलिस्ट, बताओ। अपनी फर्टाइल ब्रेन से कुछ पकड़ो, उसमें गोबर ही भरा हुआ है।
Prabhuji, what I understood is to cooperate with the devotees of the Lord.
अभी भी कंप्लीट नहीं है, काफी क्लोज आ गए हैं आप। पहला वर्ड क्या लिखा हुआ है?
Servants of God come to propagate God consciousness and
अरे
intelligent
इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन यार, दिस इज व्हाट इज मिसिंग, इंटेलिजेंस। इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन्स who cooperate with the servants of the God. दोबारा पढ़ो।
The servants of God come to propagate God consciousness, and intelligent people should cooperate with them in every respect.
Intelligent person will cooperate with them in every respect. Those who are unintelligent, they will not. And thus they will not receive this qualification. To the extent we cooperate with them, to the extent they will give us this eagerness, katharuchi. This is the basic, पता नहीं कितना समझ में आ रहा है नहीं है, जितना उनका कहना। दिस इज कॉल्ड अनुदर्शनम, दिस इज अनुदर्शनम। Okay, so I will continue, I'll complete this purport, at least this purport we will complete. So persons who are sinful like asuras, like Kamsa and Jarasandha, cannot think of the Lord as the supreme personality of Godhead, the absolute truth. Only those who are pure devotees, those who follow the regulative principles of religious life as prescribed in the scriptures, are unable to engage themselves in karma yoga and then jnana yoga, and thereafter by pure meditation they can understand pure consciousness. When God consciousness is developed, one can take advantage of the association of pure devotee, not before that. तो कम से कम सतो गुण में आए। स्यान महत सेवया विप्र पुण्यन तीर्थन निसेवनात्. One is able to associate with the Lord even during the existence of his life. This is another wonderful statement. One is able to associate with the Lord even during the existence of his life. How? How? Bolo, you should give immediate answers. How one gets the association of the Lord? Bolo, Ramya.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, by associating with the pure devotees of the Lord.
Yes, by associating with devotees. इसीलिए नियोफाइट किसको बोलते हैं? जो सोचता है कि मैं सीधे भगवान से संपर्क ले लूंगा। वो निपट मूर्ख है, उसको पता ही नहीं है कि भगवान के साथ संबंध कैसे होता है या संपर्क कैसे होता है। Places of pilgrimage are meant for eradicating the sins of the pilgrims, and they are distributed all over the universe just to give facility to all concerned for attaining pure existence with God realization and God relation. One should not be satisfied, however, merely by visiting the places of pilgrimage and performing one's prescribed duty. He should be eager to meet the great souls who are already there engaged in the service of the Lord. Why we are going to Vrindavan? ऐसे नहीं वृंदावन जाऊंगा, राधा श्याम सुंदर का दर्शन करूंगा, कृष्ण बलराम का दर्शन करूंगा, यमुना में नहाऊंगा, नहीं नहीं, we are going because it is the glorification of Gurudev. We are going because there is this sannyas ceremony of one of a pure devotee who we have so closely met and being inspired in my life. I remember Brahmani Krishna Prabhu has been a great source of inspiration from day one when I came to ISKCON. And it is such a joy to see him to take this responsibility. This is the purpose of going. In each and every place of pilgrimage, the Lord is present in his various transcendental forms. These forms are called Archamurtis, or forms of the Lord, which can be well appreciated by the common man. The Lord is transcendental to our mundane senses. He cannot be seen with our present eyes, nor can he be heard with our present ears. ठीक है? To the degree we have entered into the service of the Lord, or in proportion to how much our lives are freed from sins, we can perceive the Lord. But even though we are not free from sins, the Lord is kind enough to allow us the facility of seeing him in his Archa Murti in the temple. The Lord is all powerful, and therefore he is able to accept our service by presentation of his Archa form. No one therefore should foolishly think that the Archa in the temple is to be an idol. Such an Archa Murti is not an idol but the Lord himself, and in proportion to how much one is free from sin, he is able to know the significance of the Archa Murti. The guidance of a pure devotee is therefore always required. Always required. In the land of Bharatvarsha, there are many hundreds and thousands of places of pilgrimage distributed all over the country. And by traditional practice, the common man visits such holy place during all seasons of the year. Prabhupada is so kind. He visits all seasons of the year. Some of the Archa representation of the Lord situated in different places of pilgrimage are mentioned herewith. The Lord is present at Mathura, the birthplace of Lord Krishna, as Adi Keshava. The Lord is present in Puri, Orissa, as Lord Jagannath, also known as Purushottama. He is present in Allahabad, Prayag, as Bindu Madhav. At Mandar Hill, he is present as Madhusudana. In the Anand Aranya, he is known as Vasudev, Padmanabha and Janardana. Is Vishnu Kanchi, he is known as Vishnu. And at Mayapur, he is known as Hari. There are millions and billions of such Archa forms of the Lord distributed all over the universe. All these Archa Murtis are summarized in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the following words. Sarvatra Prakash Tara Bhakta Sukhe Dite Jagatera Dharma Nashi Dharma Sthapite. The Lord has so distributed himself all over the universe just to give pleasure to the devotees, to give the common man facility to eradicate his sins and to establish religious principles in the world. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. It is 9:30. But this is very, very nectarine. Syan Mahat Sevya. If you can accept this principle, I can guarantee you that you will return to spiritual world. And if you don't accept, then you have to come back and remain here. And next life again practice. That is very, very revolutionary statement. The intelligent person should cooperate with the devotees of the Lord in all respect. Prabhupada's statement is in all respect. And if it is not in all respect, what it is disrespect. Then there is great danger. Like Duryodhana, He disrespected Vidurji. So the illusionary energy will work. He will get the retaliation or the reaction of his offense. Entire Kaurav clan will be wiped out. ठीक है, लिखो मेरे प्रिय डिवोटीज, प्लीज लिखो, क्योंकि हमारा माइंड जो है वो सबसे बड़ा दुर्योधन का मित्र है, और हम दुर्योधन का संग ले रहे हैं बार बार अपने माइंड को सुनकर। तो उसको रोज ट्रीटमेंट देना है, 100 बार जूते से और 100 बार झाड़ू से। 100 बार जूते से कहता है रोज सुबह 5 से 7 हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र, सबको बोल रहा हूं बिल्कुल क्लियरली। सुबह 2 घंटे में 16 माला हो जानी चाहिए 5 से 7, और कुछ नहीं करना है 5 से 7। मंगल आरती करनी है, वो सब करना है उसके पहले, वो सब 5 बजे से पहले। नहीं तो घर में ड्यूटी रखें, ऑफेंस होगा, आप फिर भोगिए। जब इतने सालों में प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर पाए हैं, इसका मतलब क्या है? लापरवाह है। देन यू नीड टू बी पनिश्ड। अभी बहुत हो गया, बहुत टाइम मिल गया। अभी भी अगर सुधार नहीं है तो फिर दंड के लिए तैयार रहिए। फिर दंड क्या होता है? 5 to 7 fixed for chanting at least 2 hours, and 8 to 9, 8 बजे चालू कर दूंगा क्लास, कोई आया चाहे ना। 8 से 9 हियरिंग, 10 बजे सो जाओ, और सोने का टाइम भी फिक्स कर दिया है, बस केवल 10 से 4। उसके बाद सोते हो तो भैया अपनी आध्यात्मिक लाइफ है। और तुम में से कोई सुबेरे नहीं आता। मनोराम, आई हैव नॉट सीन यू इवन वन डे कमिंग इन चैंटिंग रूम। आई ऑल्सो डोंट सी यू सोनिका। मानिनी तो 2 दिन से आ रही है, आज मैंने इनको देखा, ये आई थी। एंड प्रदीप, व्हाट टाइम यू आर स्टार्टिंग चैंटिंग? व्हाट टाइम यू गिव
5
invitation?
o'clock.
Then you should be sincere. You should come, you should start at 5. And you should not tell me that koi nahi aata, so I am also not coming. If everybody is going to hell, you are also joining. What nonsense is this? If you take your spiritual life so casually, then only casualty will happen. You are hearing, Manoram? Every day morning at 5 o'clock, you should join chanting session. You have become very, very lax and very irresponsible. मैंने 2-3 बार देखा कोई आते हैं, मैं लगातार कई दिन नहीं आया देखने के लिए कि क्या करते हैं, और वही हुआ जो कलयुग में होता है। I sent a message also that there was no one at 5:35. And when I asked Pradeep, he joined late after 5:35. He said no one else is joining, so I am also joining late. मैं हियरिंग उसी को अलाउ करूंगा जो डेली सवेरे 5 से 7 के बीच में चैंटिंग करेगा। ये फ्री फंड का नहीं है, ये फ्री फॉर ऑल नहीं है। दिस इज अ प्लेटफॉर्म टू रिटर्न होम बैक टू गॉडहेड, एंड इट इज नॉट सो चीप। Where we are discussing the pure teachings of Srila Prabhupada. What it means to cooperate. अरे am I doing it for myself? मैं आपसे मांग रहा हूं, आप चैंटिंग करोगे तो मुझे मिलेगा क्या? आपको बुद्धि मिलेगी तो आपके दिमाग में ये घुसेगा, ये शास्त्र घुसेंगे, वरना कभी घुसेंगे नहीं, कुछ नहीं समझ में आएगा। तो उसके लिए पात्रता चाहिए, ठीक है? 5 to 7 your chanting should be complete in the morning, and 8 to 8:39 we'll try to start at 8 and stop at 9. कभी कभार डिस्कशन हो जाएगा, जैसे आज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट डिस्कशन था इसलिए लंबा हो गया। 10 बजे सो जाओ, कुछ नहीं करना है रात में जग करके। रात में जगने का मतलब क्या है कि सुबह नहीं उठना है। आप में से किसी के पास ऐसी शक्ति नहीं है कि आप रात में देर से सोओगे और सुबह जल्दी उठोगे। 365 दिन आपसे नहीं हो सकता। 365 दिन के बाद आपसे 3 दिन नहीं हो सकता है। और लिखो, मनोराम, यू हैव टू राइट, यू विल नॉट स्लीप बिफोर यू राइट। ठीक है सोनिका? एटलीस्ट 1 राइट अप इन अ वीक इज रिक्वायर्ड, नॉट लेस देन दैट। यू आर हियरिंग? Pradeep, you also, everyone, write up must come, because when you write, you have to put your all कॉन्शियसनेस, सारी फैकल्टीज, माइंड, इंटेलिजेंस, हमारी सेंसेस, सब एक साथ उसमें एंगेज होती हैं और सब प्योरीफाई होंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। विल कंटिन्यू टुमारो। हरे कृष्णा। एंड मनोराम, यू कॉल मी।